make sure that fieldsmen in the cricket couldn't be hid away where the ball didn't go? Say in the Wesley game, was it, and the Geelong game, did you think it was a disadvantage to have a weak fieldsman where the ball was being hit a lot every now and then as you went around the field? Or was that an advantage? Was that a good thing?
I like the Wesley game the best and the Geelong game, even though I didn't play it, because everyone got a go at everything, sort of.
But you couldn't hide a weak fieldsman, could you?
No.
That's good or bad?
I think it's...
So in softball you hit a weak fieldsman. What do you think?
Not really know.
Well, is it important for everyone to be in a position where they do have to field the ball? Would some people not like, would they like to be hidden away because they get embarrassed if the ball goes through their legs, or they don't want to field it because it's a hard ball? Do you think it's important that everybody does get a chance to field the ball? Or should they be allowed to go somewhere where they can hide away a bit?
I think that everyone should be able to get a field.
Right, should be play. Let's say that means everybody should have an equal chance then to field the ball.
Yes.
Does anybody disagree with that? Yes?
Well, when we were playing the house cricket, I think it was the house cricket.
The Wesley
Yeah.
game.
There was, I don't know which team it was that we were playing, but they had someone who wasn't very good who'd just come up from the B's, and they didn't think they should go in that position.
All right, now do you agree with that? They were trying to hide him away because he wasn't so good. Now, do you think that's good? Do you think he's going to get better that way, or do you think he should be fielding somewhere?
I think he should be fielding where he can get the ball, because then he gets better, and the next year he can get better and know how to do it properly.
Right, so you can't get better really unless you're actually practicing doing those things. So you think the idea of the Wesley game and the Geelong game, where the people rotated round, they had to do some wicket keeping and they had to field it square leg and they had to field it mid-on, you like that idea, do you?
Yeah.
Rather than have the same people field in the best positions and other people hidden away on the field where they're not wanted. Anybody else like to make a comment there?
Well, I think it's fun like being in all the positions, but with the Wesley game and with the Geelong game, I don't like rotating all the way around, because you have to have a go at being on every position, and some of them you might not be very good at. Like, with wicket keeper, if you're a wicket keeper and you miss the ball and you don't have a very good split, it has to go right out, and then somebody else has to go and get it, and then everybody's chasing everybody around, and you get fours and everything. But with the real game, you have a good wicket keeper, and if the ball's not straight or something, they can catch it, and the slip's usually rather good too.
That's interesting. Who liked the idea? Hand up if you like the idea of having a chance to wicket keep. Put your hand up if you like that idea. If you don't like wicket keeping, hand up. Very few. The people who don't like wicket keeping, why don't you like wicket keeping? Four girls with their hands up. Why don't you?
Because I always miss the ball.
And what, did you get embarrassed about that if you missed the ball? No, well, it didn't matter then, did it, if you missed it? Wouldn't you get better by trying to be wicket keeper?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people... That was one interesting thing, I think, Martin, that the children really, in a very short time, we played for 4 weeks, for approximately 8 hours, and I could see, even without testing you, I could see how many people really got better. They got better at stopping the ball, they got better at throwing the ball, and they certainly got better at hitting the ball in a very short time. So it just shows you with a little bit of practice how good you can get very, very rapidly in any game, softball or cricket or football or basketball or whatever. So that was interesting. Why don't you like wicket keeping?
When the ball goes through your legs, people get mad at you, and they still...
Well, that's interesting. Like, your own teammates.
Yeah.
Did they criticise you?
Oh, some of them.
Some of them did. I didn't see very much of that. That's interesting, though. And that means that they're very keen, maybe, to win the game. Is that why they were mad at you, because you were making mistakes?
I so. Ran through my legs
Quite often.
If you had to wicket keep again, How would you stop the ball going between your legs?
Put my feet together.
Did somebody tell you that, or did you just work that out?
Somebody sort of told me that.
Did you try that? Did it work?
Sometimes.
Would you use, we were interested in the last game where you had a chance to use gloves if you wanted to, but most people chose to either use one glove and no glove in the other hand, or no gloves at all. I saw very few people have two gloves on when they were wicket keeping in the last game. Why would that be so? It was not a very hard ball, but why was that so?
Because when you got it from the ground and you're going and they were running and they were halfway up the pitch, you could throw it to, it was harder to throw with your glove on to the slip.
You're right, isn't it? It's a very difficult skill to throw a cricket ball with a glove in the hand. So some people had the glove there to stop the ball and it wouldn't hurt, and they had their hand that they throw with free of the glove so they could throw very rapidly. Would you do that with a hard ball? Do you think it's necessary, even though we're rotating round, do you think it was necessary for, no we weren't rotating round, were we? In the real cricket when we're using the hard ball, do you think you could wicket keep without gloves in the real cricket? Think we could?
Some people wear gloves because they might have fast bowlers and they're scared that they might get their hands hurt.
That's the reason for wearing gloves, isn't it? It really is. I would like to wicket keep all day like, it's Tim, isn't it? No, Chris. Like Chris did. Chris wicket kept all day and he was a very good keeper. And I don't think he would have liked to do that all day with some of the fast bowlers bowling without gloves, would you? You wouldn't like to do that all day without gloves. So the gloves are necessary, I think, when we have fast bowling. I was interested in the last day too that people could either bat in equipment or bat without equipment. Now it wasn't a really hard ball, but some people chose to bat with gloves and pads on. Can you tell me if you wore them, why you wore them, if you didn't wear them, why you chose not to wear the gloves? Yep.
Well, I didn't wear them because when you wear them, you can't run in the pads.
You mean it's difficult to run in pads? You can run, but not very well or very quickly.
And the helmet weighs you sort of down, falls off and gets in your way.
So you'd prefer not to, even with the hard ball?
Yes. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Anybody else a comment about the equipment?
Well, I liked not to wear pads because, like Tony said, you can't. I can't run properly in them, and with the gloves, I can't bat properly with them on.
Because you can't feel the bat. You can't really feel the bat. So you prefer not to, but you think you might if the ball was hard because you wouldn't like your fingers or your legs damaged.
It depends what kind of a bowler. It depends what kind of a bowler.
You'd like to change them according to whether the bowler's a fast bowler or a slow bowler. Yeah, anybody have comments on the equipment?
I usually wear the pads because one of the first, I think it was the game that I played, I did wear the pad because other times when I play I usually get hit in the leg. And when you do wear the pads you don't get hit.
Well, you do get hit, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt quite as much, does it? You know, those people who, with a hard cricket ball, would prefer to use equipment, that's pads and gloves, just to protect them with a hard ball. Right, and those people who wouldn't mind whether it was hard or a soft ball would prefer not to wear equipment. You're in the minority, aren't you? All right, can I ask you another question? We'll say that the adult game, or the real game, is the game we played on the first week and the third week. That was quite similar. Some restrictions, couldn't make, I think in one game 30, wasn't it? We said you couldn't make more than 30, in the other game 25. And I think we said 6 overs was all you could bowl in one game and 4 or 5 overs in the other one. But that was the only restriction. The rest of the game was exactly as the Test cricketers would play on the MCG against England. That's one game. Those people who really do prefer that kind of cricket, put your hand up. If you really prefer that kind of cricket, put them up high so I can see that kind of cricket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, it's about 12 even, it's approximately half. Right? Now those 12 people, just for a moment, think hard and tell me why you would choose that kind of cricket, what we would call real cricket, for want of a better name. Why would you choose that in preference to the other kind of cricket that we play? Now, what's some really good reasons why? Can we have them all? One.
Because sometimes you're watching shows. There was a show on telly the other day on how to do the proper fielding things, and it teaches you how to do only the things, and it's more like the ones that you can read about and get hints of in books.
Right, yes, that's interesting. It's because the sort of thing that you see all the time,
you
that you can copy, you can mimic those really good players, because it's the sort of things they do.
Yeah, and if you read the books and you play the other type of cricket, you're sometimes thinking about what you should do out of the books, and with the other type of cricket, it sort of gets you all muddled.
Yeah, that's interesting, because most of the things are the same though. You bowl the same way, and you bat the same way, and you field the same way, and you field the same way in real cricket as you do in our modified cricket. But I think you've got a point there. Yes, what would you say?
I think in the real cricket that I liked it how you didn't have to go on every position, like you didn't have to wicket
Right.
and you didn't have to bowl. You're on a position that you like.
And you got used to that position. That's the best reason you can think of. Em?
I've got two reasons. Well, one because I play with my family and I play that cricket all the time, and when we go and play with all these boys and everything, we play that sort of cricket. And the other reason is you like the position you like, you're allowed to stay in. Like if you like wicket keeping, you're allowed to stay in wicket keeping. If you like bowling, no.
Well, you can, but you could bowl a lot more often, couldn't you?
Yeah, but if you're good at bowling and you like to get, you're good at getting people out, your captain would put you bowling and
And it wouldn't matter so much about batting if you weren't good, because you'd be a good bowler. So you could have specialist people, we call them, couldn't we? Specialist wicket keepers and specialist bowlers and specialist batsmen. You think that's a good idea to be a special person? All right, that's good.
At home, like Liz, she's hard balls, which she reckons will smash windows and hurt people with them, and she won't let us know, like using the harder balls and that.
Well, is that a bit of a challenge or something, isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely.
To make the hard ball do the things that you want it to do. Yes, that's interesting. Often softballs are not easy to play cricket with, aren't they? Because they bounce up all over the place. Yes, that's difficult. Yes?
Well, I think it's better to I think it's better to go on the places where you like to go, because I didn't really like when you had to rotate around the field.
You'd like to stay in the same one place all the time and get used to fielding in that one place. Right, that's a good point. Yes, this is still on the real game.
This is Todd Fullwood.
Todd.
I like using the hard ball and things because it's more challenging and you can. It's not as hard to field with it because it doesn't go quite as far. And so if you want to get a four or something, you have to really try hard. And then when you play with a soft ball, you play it with a more challenging game, and so you're used to that kind of game, and then you can really kind of get into the game.
That's interesting.
It's
I think it's
softer
more of a challenge than the softer ball. In fact, the hard ball goes quicker and faster to the boundary than the softer ball. From what I saw of people hitting the softer ball, it was a lot harder to hit a four in a sense because the ball didn't come off quite as quickly. That's interesting. Still a real game?
I think if you weren't a very good, I liked it better because you could use pads and everything, and if you got hit, you could you'd know not to do that again and how to place the bat or place when you field. And if you weren't a very good fieldsman, you could put them in a certain spot where the ball comes a lot, and near them you could put quite a good fieldsman, and if he missed the ball, he could run round
And help the other
stop.
person.
Yeah, stop the form.
But you really like it because it's very much like a
Yeah.
real game of cricket. You like playing what you see other people play, is what you're saying, isn't
Yes.
it?
You get a chance to bat longer and you don't have to, it takes a long time to rotate around the field. And
It takes a long time to rotate round, and you don't like the modified game for that reason, because it takes you a long time to get round to have a bowl again.
and you can stay in the one
Is
position.
that right, what Mr. Parkin just said?
Yes.
That's what you mean by take long?
Yes.
If you go and have a bowl, in the modified game, it takes a long time to get back to your turn.
You have to wait your turn.
Still on the real game?
Well, I like the real game better because with the other game, the modified game, when you go in, you don't really learn the skills of blocking because if I go out, I still get another chance and I stay in. So they come in and try to hit every ball for 4. And so if they go out and they try to play the real game, they'll try and hit every ball and I'll go out.
So you're saying that we learn the wrong habits, the wrong things in the modified game, because cricket really is a game of blocking the good balls and hitting the bad balls, isn't it? But everybody in modified cricket tries to hit every ball, which is not really cricket, is it? So that's a very good reason that you brought up there, very good indeed. Any others for the real game, why you like the real game? Anything we haven't covered as to why you like the real game?
I like the real game better because one thing, there's more action in it and it's a much quicker game than modified rules one. And 2, that if you like hitting the ball up in the air, and hitting it for a long way in the air, well, with the soft ball, the wind it can sort of push it off angle or hit it, or it can push it back. But with the hard ball, it seems to go straight through the wind.
Not quite sure what you mean by making the game quicker and there is more action. What do you really mean there's more action in the real game? That's interesting that you say that, but what do you really mean?
Oh, well, like in the real game, we used to say if there's a good batsman and there's a good bowler and there's a good bowler bowling, well, you see how good the batsman or the bowler really is.
Yeah, I think I understand what you mean, yes. I do understand,
And it's a much quicker game.
All right.
More a test of your ability. If you know is this what you're saying?
Yeah.
If you know you're going to face a quite good bowler.
Yeah. You know you have to do well in your batting.
All right. One more, Emma, on the real game.
Well, in the real game, you could, when the Australians and the West Indies play, well, when they play, they go on and they go on. So, like when they're batting, they don't have to retire at 30. And well, I wish we could do that. Don't have. And if we get out, we're out. And then
You just accept. That's good that you accept that. Even if you get out first ball.
yeah.
Remember one very disappointed boy the first week who got clean bowled first ball for a duck. He was very disappointed. I felt very sorry for him. I thought, well, that's awful. He's come all the way out here to have a hit. Get clean bowled first ball. I'd like him to have another hit. And I think he would have liked to have had another hit too. He didn't want to go out first ball. But you're in fact saying that's beaut. That's what makes you fizzy and funny inside. That you've got a real challenge here. If you don't hit it, you're out. But if you do hit it, well, you can stay there forever if you're good enough to stay there forever.
Yeah.
Is that basically what you're saying? All right, let's leave it that for a moment. Let the other people on the other side of the argument, let them have a go. That is the other 12 people now who think that the Wesley type, Geelong type game, for them, is more enjoyable. And we'd like the reasons that they think that that type of game is better for grade 5 children than maybe the real game. All right, can we start? Go along the back.
Well, I think it's better, the Wesley and the Geelong game is better because if you are a person like I am, not very good at cricket, you get a sort of a chance of doing everything and you're not left out. Like if you're captain, they know you're not good, but you just stick them out somewhere and you want to have fun in the game, and if you're going to be stuck out somewhere where the ball's not going to come out, I don't think it's fair. And with the other people playing cricket, I think that they should be able to sort of group the people that want to play the modified rules and the people that with the real cricket, so that it's sort of fair for everybody.
That's interesting. You'd say then that the better children who have played a lot of cricket and are quite good, they probably should be playing real cricket, whereas those that aren't quite so good probably should be playing modified or a different kind of cricket. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, that's good. Coming on the back row, yes?
I think the cricket that, the Geelong cricket
And the Wesley cricket.
the cricket that we play, I think it's better to have those because you can get a go at everything and you know what it's like to go in every place, so you can get better at one place and then go to the next place and do the same thing there.